to violate the mining laws and deplete unregulated, unmonitored, and unsupervised. This is sickening to the stomach.
You freedom fighter, you raping our women. Freedom fighter, you killing our.
We will talk about that, and then we will go for the big faith.
Destroying our country.
The syndicate that's been built in this country. The vice president, the minister of public works, the senator of Mangibi, a sanctioned U.S. sanctioned senator, U.S. disgrace sanctioned senator Emmanuel Nukwe, Bon County Prince Moy. We'll keep embarrassing these people every day. Keep embarrassing them every day until we make sure that everybody know in this country that they are terribly plotting against the collective interests of all Liberians. These are the individuals. And of course, the head of the PPCC. But folks, the shape and size of the conversation for you this morning, plus other issues making news over the weekend. The United Nations General Assembly. Yes, our president was there. He's continued to be there. He stayed in the U.S.
Freedom fighter, you destroy our country.
But guess what? The president left from there. He went to some kind of diaspora conference. And he's also been there as well, wasting Liberian people money. Chichi not going to come from any of these useless travels. President proved at the UNGA completely disconnected from trending global issues when the war was focused on the catastrophe in Gaza and across to other parts of the world where there are killings and terror. When the war was also focused, particularly Africa, and most African leaders were focused on the HO discriminatory stance of the United Nations and pushing for Africa's inclusion and rightful position on the Security Council. Our president was just joking around, explaining parlor stories, providing false data, and all that. So the problem with Liberia has again been proven that it is the lawyering profession. Lawyers. The Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia justifies nepotism. It just beat over nepotism. So today, anybody can do whatever that's qualified as nepotism. Go ahead. The Chief Justice say, when the other person husband working, the other person son working. So he too is somewhere. My name is Abu Sharif, and of course, for the long intro. Hey guys, not here this morning running some personal errands, but of course, this is how we're going to drive you straight up to 10 o'clock. And the cash giveaway is also active on *255*1#. I'm sure this coming Saturday also will be the grand draw for the back to school bonanza. So you want to keep playing because we still have a couple of days to go for the month of September. Too many things. So *255*1#, *255*1# is the code. Technicians are still working behind the scene to see how we can be good on the Facebook Live. Too many of you are there in the diaspora, but you can make use of the YouTube platform, right? The YouTube platform is active. So it's *255*1# to play, and then of course you'll be one of our lucky winner here this morning on the show. So that is that. Let's take a break with Crime Stopper Liberia. When we come back, then we go in for real business at 8 o'clock. We start the conversation, but just before all of that, ensure that you're playing the cash giveaway on *255*1#. The more you play, the better chances are to win this morning. The first is 5,000, and then we keep climbing up to 25,000. I don't know. People basically, you take this thing for a joke, but it is here. once we get the players, we get the winners, we'll definitely pay out the cash up to $25,000 challenge. And that threshold is also there. So once we meet that threshold, we definitely pay. So it's a threshold thing. So once we are playing, we are meeting the threshold, and then of course we are good, right? Okay, so let me see something here. We're experiencing some kind of real problem here this morning. I don't know what is going on. I don't know. Are we live now? Right, so okay. *255*1# is the code. This break, and we will be right back.
I want Liberian rooster. It's about musical. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. Really can't take your law in. Crime stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human talking, I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. I'm a part of report. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from the own self Omen Sam Sion.
Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us.
Okay, Crime Stopper.
It's about musical. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. Really can't take your law in. Crime stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door.
Professionals to fix your car, or do you need an original spare parts for your vehicle? Well, worry no more. Macabre Garage and Spare Parts on the bypass opposite Orange Head Office is that place. At Macabre, we provide the following services: mechanical, technical work, computer diagnosis and scanning, key duplication and programming, air conditioning, alarm system, and body wagon spray. We also sell genuine and generic spare parts for Range Rover, Mercedes-Benz, Suzuki, Chevrolet Tahoe, Nissan and Mazda, and most American cars. The good news is that Macabre has Air Garage in the Bronx, New York, the USA, where we have a huge stockpile of full synthetic mobile oil that is very good for your vehicles. Some of these oils, when used, can service your vehicle by itself for up to 4 to 6 months. We have gas treatment and fuel injector cleaner, original from the USA. We can get you any spare part for your car in Liberia from America in 4 working days, even if we are not the one working on your car. We also order spare parts for other garages in Liberia. We have a tow truck service. Get in touch with us. Just call 0778 324 567, 0778 320 366, or 0778 324 566. Macabre Garage and Spare Parts, Liberia's #1.
Okay, so welcome back, folks. Many thanks to our sponsors and partners, Crime Stopper Liberia, and of course, Macagbe Garage as well, right here on the bypass. But yeah, it's good to be back on the show, the nation's premier breakfast platform, the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. So there are some heart touching issues to talk about, but this morning, let's go all the way across to our man Eddie Jawolo, who has updated some greeting for his his village people. Guess what? You know, we've always told you that look, for us, you can call us whatever you want to call us, but we will leave it far ahead and inform the Liberian people. And then you wait for your own compromise timing to start to talk. For us, we can leave it ahead, we throw it out. You know, when we told you, when we broke the news here that President Bouaka was building mansion in Lofa, the quote-unquote so-called independents were having their thoughts. They were saying all kinds of things. Just recently, we broke the news that Vice President Kun is sick. He's been flown out of the country, right? And the so-called independents were passing around and trying, but right now, they all have confirmed and agreed that those informations are true. They will not come to tell you that, oh, yes, these young people, you know, they're credible, they're providing authentic informations and all of that. But they focus more on the radical conveyance of the message. And we are not going to stop doing that because you know why? The elements that we are dealing with in power are very rude and, of course, arrogant. So that is the best way to deal with them. So it's about the substance of the conversation. So forget about how the man sent out his message and all of that. Once they remain within the borders and the periphery of ethical and professional realm. So what more? You know. So this is it. Jaolo Eddie says, "Good morning, my village people. A presidential villa with an estimated value exceeding 10 million." Listen, when we said it, they say, "Oh, that plane not only at 10 million, man." I got one of my brother. I don't know what I should call his name. Kim, and you know, fanatical. I didn't even waste my time on it. I said, "Look, you gotta go find a place to sit down. You think I really care about people feeling and sentiment in the work I do? You're absolutely clueless of the nature of my job, and you want to detect, and you know how I do it, how I report, and all of that. That is absolutely, and you know, stupid to say the least. $10 million or more when we are talking to people." So Eddie accepts and Eddie agree. And Eddie is quoting the very same 10 million. And Eddie is even saying above 10 million. Right, folks? What kind who is believed to be, right? I mean, a man that has got nothing to do with money, luxury, and all of that, right? Spending is wasting. Let me put it that way: wasting over $10 million, right? Has been constructed in Foya District, Lofa County, the birthplace of President Joseph Newman Bouaka Sr. And by the way, it is not a presidential villa as many would think it. That is a clever attempt by the government. And Eddie, if the government wants to insist, let them provide the documentation. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. I challenge the Joseph Boakai government to provide the documentation that establishes that the property or the mansion being built in Foya, it is a national or a Liberian government undertaking. Meaning, whoever president is will inherit that property, right? And if such a conversation is being held, it will not be in the form of manner. Or 10 million will just be sent to one county and then go be presidential villa. When a lot of the presidential palace or villas across the country are in ruins. There's been no renovation, no money allotted to renovate those ones. But somebody is telling me that a presidential villa is being built. So is this format going to be spread across to all of the counties? Is that what you're saying? So that whole presidential villa thing is a cover up. This is Boakai's own retirement mansion. This is Boakai's own retirement mansion. $10 million. I listened to a narrative from a son of Lofa who says that, look, there are conversations in the county where, in fact, the folks are considering dividing Lofa County. You see the elements that are considering dividing Lofa County, and it's coming mainly from not trying to be tribalistic, but it's coming mainly from the Kisi angle there, the Foya side, right? So what they're going to do, they will divide the county according to that narrative. And then Foya will be the capital city of that new county that they will establish. And that is the reason, in preparation of that, Boakai is building that mansion there and all of that. So there are a lot of narrative around the issues. But we'll be here, we'll see. The construction firm is MUSNS, M-U-S-N-S Groups Incorporated, led by Joe Morba, a close associate of the president, with Edward Yamba serving as chief engineer. Construction started on September 10, 2024. The precise source of the financing remains unknown, and the role of the PPCC is similarly uncertain. Now, state security guards the location of the presidential villa construction, a factory that will create jobs and economic benefits for the residents of Lofa County could be built for $10 million. What rationale exists for spending over $10 million to a presidential villa when residents of that district are deprived of fundamental public services and economic prospects? That is a question. And I keep arguing that, look, Eddie, you have to correct your facts. It is not a presidential villa. You need to ask for some basic, some basic documentation that will confirm. Because, Eddie, in spite of our disagreement, but you're a credible man. You're running a credible institution. You're running a reputable institution, so to speak. The credibility will be determined by what you do and the way you do them. But you're supposedly running a reputable institution and an organization that's known across our politics. However, so if you must be sure and certain to say it's the presidential villa, you must have done all of your due diligence. And I'm challenging you. I want to add you to the challenge. I want to add Eddie Jawolo, predicated on the facts that you have gotten to have, communicated that it is a presidential villa. I still maintain that it is not. It did not start as a presidential villa, and it has not even transitioned into that yet. If that has happened, then probably for the past 1 week, they try to make documents and papers. Because guess what? There's a key point Eddie raised about PPCC. Because if it is a government process, it will go to procurement. It will go to bidding. How did we get Joe? How did we get Mr. Joe Morba and company? So if it is a government, so it is not a government thing. It is a Boakai thing, but it is government money that's being used. And I like a key point, a very fine point that you raised. That $10 million could be a multi-purpose factory or industry in Lofa that will serve over tens of thousands of Lofians youth. And somebody's supposed to sit there in Lofa to justify this. So Baka has not even told us the source of his income. In fact, they've made it like a taboo. Nobody's supposed to talk about this in anywhere in government cycle. With all of the rumors at MICAT, there's been zero conversations about this project in Lufa, and this is absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Now, but there are a lot of these things happening in the country anyway. So let's move on. Also, over the weekend, another news about rape broke out, and there was news, big head about news of another 14 years old kid that was mercilessly raped by an official of Joseph Numa Boakai government. So you see, these things continues unabated because the president is responding in a lip service faction. You see, the president is so, for the most part, very heartless and careless about the impact of these things on the victims, to a point where it causes no chill on the president to take real serious grandfather actions when he hears that a 14-year-old minor has been raped. And, that is a first degree felony. I mean, the serious offense under the law, right? But guess what? These public officials will rape our minor, and the head of state will take no action until the media will make noise, and then the head of state will come in an unimpactful manner to issue a letter of suspension. When in fact we're hearing that the suspect is in the country and of course continues to take pay from the government and enjoy benefits from the government. So what kind of president do we have? Why is the president treating the ordinary people like this in their own country? Right? Bill McKay still continue to move around this country here when he stands accused of raping a 14 years old baby. Then one say what kind of Kuma there from the Ministry of Agriculture, right? Just recently, over the weekend, we are told again, and there are a lot of what? What's my man? There are a lot of accounts validating that this guy is notorious of this act. This the gentleman from the Ministry of Agriculture who committed one crime, right? Since it happened, we've heard nothing official from the government yet. Not the Ministry of Mine, the Ministry of Agriculture, but a child, 14-year-old, was raped, and according to the recordings that we're hearing, the guy put the little girl in the room and increased his set, his player. He increased the music loud, and then he was raping the people little daughter. I mean, this is a government official. How do we even vet and appoint people into government? So the guys are using, we've been saying this thing here. United Party folks are abusers. They southern mass the boys and then they rape the girls. That's what they do. That's what they find pleasure in, and they consider that to be elitism. Those stupid country boys who think because they're associated with one crazy political institution and all they can do that qualifies as elitism to do, uncontrollable doggies around here. And at the end of the day, they collect our small children, right? Fool them with technophone and start to rape them. So when you see your small gathering, you see Baka official coming around you, take them from there. These guys are rapists. I mean, in less than a month, and we can count up to 5 major cases. 5 major rape cases in Baka government by a senior government official, if not minister, that deputy minister or assistant minister or procurement director or controller or some sort of very well-placed individual. Does this not trouble you? I think it's troubling. It is indeed very troubling. So, what has the government done in these instances? For the most part, the government has ignored a lot of them. The ones involving Larama Yonton, the one involving the Minister of Internal Affairs, were all swept under the carpet, and the one involving the guy from the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the government has refused to arrest the man. The government has refused to arrest the man. They refused to arrest the man, and the issue a very uh, 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 the issue an erroneous statement that, oh, they have suspended the man. No, what is suspension? We're talking about prosecuting the man, right? And to prosecute the man, of course, he had to be suspended to be able to undergo the prosecution or the investigation process. But the government has deliberately refused, and they have publicly said that they are not going to arrest the man until they get the CCTV camera report, and then they get a geospatial report. Then from there, they go and get a DNA report. Do you have a DNA machine? Do you have the capacity? How can the police say something that they have no capacity to do? What does that indicate? It indicates reluctance on the part of the police to do what the law requires of them. So this is troubling. This is terrible in a country where you expect that justice will be for all. But again, these are not limited cases where this government has stooped so very low to flatten our laws, disregarding what is required in particular instances where justice has to be served, right? There are plethora of evidence and records or cases to indicate clearly that this is a ruthless government. This government that's bastardizing our laws, that cares less, and all the thing they can do is to just do lots of what? Lots of propaganda and hire mercenaries out there to defame and undermine and insult the reputation of individuals like us who've stooped to be critical and, of course, independent in critiquing and calling the governments out. And this is the game plan, and that's what they're doing regularly. But the good thing about it, every time they do it, they get exposed. Every time they do it, they get exposed, and this is where we are. We leave from there again. We go. We say the country must be all right. We envision a country of equity and, of course, meritocracy. What that means is that in Liberia, we have a democracy that recognizes competence, professionalism, and qualification for employment and, of course, hiring, wherever, at any level, promotion and all of that. Right? Unfortunately, the United Party, since its inception for this useless Boakai regime, has flouted and, of course, has misapplied that very sacred principle of merit-based hiring and all that. What have we seen? The nation has been reduced into partisanship, partisan reasoning, partisan justifications, and all of that. And people are losing their job. People are being dismissed simply because of partisan affiliation, which is flagrantly in contravention of the laws of the country. And somebody say the country is running normal. Is this what you call normal? And somebody say you settle for mediocrity and keep clapping your hand. How many instances of bad governance and misrepresentation and all that? How many instances have I listed so far? I think about 3 or 4 I've covered. And there's so many that we could talk about, right? Now, there are laws on nepotism. From Ellington up to Weir time, up to where we are. Yeah, Weir time, we didn't hear much because we was clear on it, right? But up to where we are, the nation has been keen because some of the reason why we are told the country went into war was because of the wanton nepotistic practices and the unfair distribution of the nation's resources, and consideration being squarely based on family ties and social network or acceptance. The country rallied and went into 18, 15, whatever years of bloody civil unrest, killing and killing and killing. Why did we kill people in this country? Because we felt the country was being run nepotistically, and the country needed to be on a path where the laws are clear, and of course, people must not use their position to favor a family, a relative, a friend, and what have you. Absolutely not, because every Liberians are equal and deserve equal opportunities. And if we all keep hiring our family folks, what happened to those of us who do not have family member in the government? Do we have hope of contributing and serving our country? Absolutely not. That's why the environment must be open and plain. There must be an open playing field where, irrespective of my family background, I'm convinced that I can have a chance to serve my country with the demonstrated qualifications, competence, and credentials. That is the country our people fought for. That is the country we lost our parents. And of course, people die in this country and all of that. But today, since Baka became president, the opposite is the case. All of those things are happening again. You have to be a unity party person. You have to be a member of the Kisi tribe, or you have to be a member or an Aborigine from Lofa County, or you have to be, somewhere from the Foya region, and this is where priorities are placed. No matter how you feel about it, these are the reality. Go across and check the contract. Just do an evaluation of government contracting and see the ownership of the companies that are getting all of the contracts, whether in roads, maintenance, whether in water, in electricity. Check it out. There are lot of things going on, right? This is it. The country is being run terribly. We are on the reverse. Anything could sparkle. Anything, absolutely not. And people keep diverting these leadership failures and missteps, right? Diverting it and justifying it by unnecessary attack on Mr. Weah and his family. Unnecessary attack on Mr. Weah and family. So keeping the country busy, keeping the people attention on Mr. Weah and family when you're stealing and of course flattening all of the laws in the country. Liberians, where are your priorities? You all out there, you're hungry. You're hungry. You're begging for school fees to send your kids to school, but you're wasting your time on George Weah and his family, right? When the people you've given power to, they're failing the state. They are failing the state. Who justify nepotism? The Chief Justice appointed by Joseph Newman Boyka, right? The first time in the history for the court to defy clear evidence. Say, oh, y'all go to the hospital, y'all go do test, and the test result will tell us, will give us an idea on whether this thing you're saying happen or it not happen. The test result come, the test result say, the hospital say, yeah, the thing happen, oh, they just say no, it not happen. That in Labro, on no Baka is happening. Can you imagine? Just think about that. The same code that say, oh, y'all go to the hospital, that the hospital will tell, oh, we won't get the capacity to determine. So y'all go to the hospital. Went to the hospital say, by all standard, by all measure, all protocol, all of the evaluation, yes, they think it happen. Yeah, the result, then the same code come out and say, no, it not happen. So what capacity do you have? I mean, your denial of the motion to suppress clearly states that you disagree with the medical facilities on report, right? So let me read what the Chief Justice said. You know, today is Monday, so got to cover a lot of things. So many the real conversations will be on the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Now, Chief Justice defends son's appointment amid outcry over unqualified magistrates. I'm reading from Insights Liberia, right? Liberia's Chief Justice Yemi Kwekwe-Gbese Sr., following the appointment of his son and several other individuals without formal legal education to key judicial positions, the move has triggered backlash from within the judiciary. When he did that, the entire judiciary, became noisy. the trial judges, magistrates, and all the people, all of them say, but how come? Even lawyers, law school students, why are people going to the law school and graduating when a chief justice will violate the law and take his incompetent, unqualified son, who we're told was just with the LIS, Liberal Immigration Service, and take the man, appoint the man, and then collect another Bwaka Kisi relative, I know nephew or cousin, and send the man to Vonjaman, to the Vonjaman court. Send one of Bwaka relative to Vonjaman court, the capital city in Lofa. You can imagine how the concessions and companies will be violating people's rights down there and just be bribing the system, because it is never seen from a prism of strengthening justice, but rather it is seen from a prison of empowering cronies, empowering relatives and family members. And this is absolutely ludicrous, to say the least. Speaking at a one-day meeting with lawyers along with the Lofa Bar held in Lofa County, he said the appointments made by President Joseph Boakai upon the recommendation of the Chief Justice, the National Association of Trial Judges of Liberia, wrote him for his intervention. Speaking in response to the criticism, Chief Justice Gbese confirmed that he recommended several individuals, including his son, Wellington Wa Gbese, for appointment as associate magistrates. He acknowledged that some of those appointed are not graduates of the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law or the James AAPS Judicial Institute, which are traditionally considered prerequisites for judicial office. This is the Chief Justice, knowingly, willfully, right, flouting the laws, the prerequisites for holding a judicial office. You must enter the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law or the James AAPS Judicial Institute. The Chief Justice close his eye to this. And now the old people that are experienced people, right? Then he sent these unqualified high school dropout and first degree in different fields. He sent their name to the 42-year-old experienced old man who said he knew everything about government, all the problem of Liberia, he has been around for long and he can fix it. The man take his own mistake and send it to that other old man too. He sat down there, right? That man who lied his way to power. He sat down there and sanctioned these appointments. So it brings to question the presidency. I mean, honestly, because the president must be acting in confine with the law. And you can see the president making these elementary blunders. And then you're justifying these things because of partisanship and some kind of nepotistic, undertone and all of that, or because of your resentment for George Weah, and you think you will settle for all of these violations in the country. This is absolutely unacceptable. What kind of country are we running? So what does it say to anybody? What does it say to posterity? Right? What demonstrates our preparedness to build a wholesome, functioning society that respects the law and acts in accordance with the law? Compromises everywhere, because once the nation gets aware that the national government, this is happening from the office of the president is violating the laws. The president is compromising the law. So what then would the ordinary man be doing? The ordinary man will be finding loopholes to equally bypass the law. And for him, how are they going to achieve it as laymen? They're going to raise small money and bribe the system. Because if the presidency is not upholding the fundamental sacrament of the law, you expect the layman out there to do that? No, absolutely not. He's going to bribe his way, or he's going to abuse the law. It starts with the top. It starts with the president. Defending the appointment, the Chief Justice cited the Constitution's silence on the qualification for associate magistrate, which is a blatant lie, right? Because there are other laws, right? associate magistrates, arguing that while stipendiary magistrates must be law school students, the law is silent to associate magistrates. The Constitution gives the president the authority. That's quoting the Chief Justice now, Yamin Bezi, right? The majority block, papi, papi, and then papi there. As soon you put in a secret order, I tell them won't do content. You know, yes, it's on a share for you now, then they won't put it in zero to low. That's what they can do. But anyway, let's tell it true, right? And the papi then won't use their power to kind of arrest us. That one, a little then go, but we got to say the facts as they are, right? The Constitution gives the president the authority to appoint magistrates. Where the law does not speak, it is presumed to allow discretion, he said. If anyone can show me the specific law that bars non-lawyers from serving as associate magistrates, I will resign. Good. So, Mr. President, the Chief Justice himself have said it. So we anticipate that after these broadcasts, after this conversation, that two things will happen. Either the president will dismiss, and the Chief Justice, or the Chief Justice will resign, because these are the penalties under the law that's been violated, right? The trial judges of Liberia, in a letter dated September 25, 2025, the trial justice president, Judge Nancy Finda Same, expressed deep concern over the appointment of individuals who have not completed the requisite legal education or training. Among the appointees are Wellington Wagbese, Pinsville Magisterial Court, Montserrado County, Rufus Keke, Zuale Magisterial Court, Nimba County, Joseph K. Fala, Ba Magisterial Court, Bomi County, Windell Miller, Edina Magisterial Court, Grand Bassa County, Aaron Morgan Togba, Bopolu City Magisterial Court, Bopolu County, Jate Barkley, and Akwe Kennedy. Say Kungbo, Magisterial Court, Bapolu County, that Kungbo, right? Harris M. Bwaka, Vonjaman City, Harris M. Bwaka, that Bwaka relative I'll tell you about. Oh my people, when your man, your partner in government forget it, you finish in the country. So this is it. The National Association of Trial Judges of Liberia emphasized that the Judicial Institute was established precisely to professionalize the magistracy and prevent appointments based on personal or political considerations. And this is what we're seeing. So basically, these are being flouted and replaced with what? Political affiliations and family ties. Under Boakai, they experienced 42 years old Baptist deacon. Oh my God. If individuals can now serve as magistrates without any formal legal training, what message are we sending to those enduring years of legal studies and judicial training? I mean, this is absolutely terrible. We live in a country where people will spend their money, they will struggle. I'm trying my best to go to the law school and things, yeah, but we're trying to find, all of the struggle you go through, because it's resource, constraining. So you got to make sure that you're in the right financial position, because for us, we don't like to live our life on people. So we like to try and ensure that we're in the best financial position. So after going through all of that headache, and finally you manage to enter, you go through everything that you have to go through. You live from there. Baka is setting a precedent where it does not matter, right? Some got to be a carpenter man out there, or a reclaimed Zogo, and once his pa or his man or your uncle is just send him somewhere, say, my man, go be the trial judge down there, or the associate magistrate down there. If individuals can now serve as magistrates without any formal legal training, what message are we sending to those enduring years of legal studies, blah, blah, blah? We say, however, rejected the accusation of nepotism, pointing fingers at other judicial officers or officials who have family members in public service. So the Chief Justice is justifying his violations of the law by other people. Imagine the standard. This man is the highest, right? And this man is saying, I'm the boss man, but I'm measuring what I do by the underman. The underman violated the law. The Chief Justice is not punishing that underman, but the Chief Justice says, by virtue of the fact that the underman did it or is doing it, I'm equally going to do it. Look at the reasoning. What does that say to you about our country? What does all of that expose to you about Liberia? You that's supposed to punish the male. Yeah, it seems as Mr. Bwakai, right? You're not supposed to take the action. You're not. But rather, you're using that person, right, that you have the capacity and the authority to punish, to reprimand. You're using their standard to qualify your action. And somebody said it makes sense, it's reasonable. We should sit down and 4 hour him because Bwakai is president, because this is rescue government. And all you got to do, just call Mr. Wianim, and then you're okay. So any law you violate in the country, just say Wia will not be president anymore, and then that is solved. This is nonsense. And we're going to be here for another 6 wasted years. 6 wasted years. 6 years of nothing. Absolutely nothing. Zero. So 6 years of backwardness, violations of the law, nepotism, favoritism, tribalism, sectionalism, and partisanship. This is what characterizes or describes the leadership today of Liberia, and this is why the president does nothing on the international or global stage. Look at the president. Look at people celebrating other leaders' participation and contribution to national and global conversation that has the potential to shape our world, right? People are heralding and promoting and quoting them. Even ministers of the government are ashamed to even highlight anything meaningful from Bwakai's conversation. Was there anything meaningful? Rather, what do we get from there? What we get from there is an alliance member of the Bwakai regime who considers Bwakai's conversation at the UN as deceptive and, of course, complete lies. Listen to Emmanuel Gonkwe. Let me find the screenshot here quickly. I say, liar, say, my witness is across the river. Right? Okay. I beg your pardon. You know, we have a lot of these things in our phone, so we got to go scrolling. Well, we got to go scrolling and scrolling. Where is this, man? Say using international platform to lie. Somebody please send me that Gonkwe screenshot. Man, I'm trying to get it. Let me see. Yeah, right? So that is coming from Liberia. And it's justified. It is. It is clearly justified. Right? When our president goes to the UN and other places and misrepresents the facts and provide complete mockery, I like to put it, provide complete mockery of the realities on the ground. You go and provide thwarted narrative about the realities on the ground. You will tell the people, say, we got $8 billion to raise, and then when we come to the horse, right, we didn't get a fresh driver to eat. What kind of president is that? Right? What kind of leader is that? Okay. Hold on for me 1 minute. So, folks, this is it. So, so the Chief Justice says that whatever you may consider as nepotism is no longer nepotism because other people are doing it. So the Chief Justice is in a way accusing the government of being entirely nepotistic. So as a result of that, and here's the Deputy Minister for Planning and Manpower. at the Ministry of Labor. So, as a result of that, basically, the Chief Justice justifies why he had to appoint his son and other people who have zero legal knowledge, into positions where that they are not qualified for. But he equally, the Chief Justice equally raised issues about the law, challenging that anybody should provide him any law in the country that speaks against nepotism. There is the code of conduct. Let me try to get beg your pardon, please. Okay, so okay. So let me go back. What happened this morning? All right. Okay. The thing I want, that one not coming. The one I want, it coming. Okay. So the Code of Conduct spoke clearly about nepotism, and it defines what nepotism is as well. So for the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia to come on here today and start to justify what has happened, it is terribly scary. What does the law on appointment of magistrates says? The law governing this appointment is the new judicial law of Liberia, Title 7, River Section 5, which expressly vests the appointment of magistrate in the President of the Republic of Liberia. Under this provision, the President appoints stipendiary magistrates and associate magistrates for the magisterial court. The law further provides a full-year tenure, subject to reappointment and removal under specific safeguards. Right? That's that. The Code of Conduct. Let's come to the Code of Conduct. The Code of Conduct and nepotism is important. The Liberian Code of Conduct 2014 prohibits public officials from using their office or offices to secure undue safeguard, right? To secure undue advantage for relatives. Undue advantage. For example, if the law requires that you must attend probably the Louis Adogren School of Law, or you must be somebody with a legal training, so the undue advantage will be a relative who does not have that advantage. I will leverage my authority and the privilege of my office to what? To reward that person such a position when in fact that the person has, disabilities, in keeping with the requirements for occupying said office. That's what the Code of Conduct is clear about. This safeguard is important to preserve the integrity of public service. The integrity of public service. So if you act outside of this, that means you have abused the integrity of public service. You have undermined the integrity of public service. And this is what the President and the Chief Justice are guilty of. Right? However, the key element of nepotism is influence over a decision where one has appointing, recommending, or approving authority. And in this instant case, the Chief Justice has authority over recommendation, and the President has authority over appointment. So the both of them, there's no way we can centralize this thing, right? In the present case, such authority rests not with the Chief Justice. No, this in this Chief Justice, he recommended, he recommended, formulated the listing and sent it to the president. It was on the strength of his recommendation that the president appointed. So one will even want to exonerate, but it will also be demeaning to want to say, want to say, oh, you can't hold the president responsible because the man saying it is. So that would be demeaning to the office of the president, right? In as much to say that the president, just rested squarely, right? But again, you can also argue that on the strength of Chief Justice, His Honor Yamin Gbese, on the strength of his recommendation, the president opted to make the appointments. So who violated the law, right? And for me, I believe the both of them, right? But in this case, the Chief Justice takes the big case because he misled the president. He misled the president, contrary to what the law requires. Contrary to what the law requires. So this is the country we have, folks. This is the country we have. We have a country where the people, the highest, the people you expect at the highest level are the ones failing the country, disappointing Liberia. So do we really have justice here? Do we really have rule of law in this country anymore? If small laws, people because of family, right? The code of conduct say, don't appoint family relative. You say, oh, that's my son. You appoint the man. But years, you were in the vanguard campaigning and advocating against nepotism. But today, you justify nepotism. Today, you say nepotism is correct because, you know what? Right? You say nepotism is correct because that your son and other people get their own family in government. I thought we're supposed to be acting to get rid of these people who are abusing public office and having their relatives and family members in government. I thought they are the ones that we are supposed to be correcting, right? The code of conduct is a law that qualifies the conduct of public officials. What you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do is the code of conduct. It is a law. And it prohibits nepotism. So how then can the code of conduct? How does the code of conduct defines nepotism? Continue to play your cash giveaway *255*1#, right? Nepotism under our laws is when a public official appoints, employs, promotes, or recommends for advancement. So somebody should call Kanye. I told you, Kanye is a terrible lawyer. Kanye is a disastrous lawyer. You see, this of your belly, right? You will ignore the law and then you misinterpret the law and mislead the public, right? Only because of your own selfish benefit. Look at the gibberish that Kanye wrote this morning. I don't know this morning, but I stumbled across it this morning. Kanye Bala, right? Go and read that trash. And that man is supposed to be a lawyer, right? And he is a lawyer and he knows it, but he's ignoring it because we are creating an environment where you just have to bootleg to survive. And this is terrible. And that's how somebody look at me and say, "Man, there is some kind of program or." So I decided to reach out. But the reluctance in the people, I knew exactly they will not consider me. And you understand? So for us, we are our corner. That only God considering us. So we don't care because your standard is compromised. Your standard is compromised. For as long as you think, in as much as we are not bootlicking and of course closing and playing a blind eye to the reality simply because Baka is president and you think you cannot consider us for anything in this country, that's fine. It's okay. How long is it going to be for? It's okay. We can bear it. We'll go through it. Right? For as long as we continue to have impact and we're conscientizing people, that's good. That's our reward. Don't call us for anything. Don't consider us for anything. Don't put our name on anything. Don't give us any opportunity. It's okay. Just let up this space to talk on behalf of the Liberian people. That is what nepotism. So if nepotism defines as this, and the Chief Justice admit that he recommended people who did not qualify under the law, how then do you come back as a lawyer and say the Chief Justice can be exonerated from the crime committed if you're not looking for attention and favor? Family member. What does the law define family member as? The code of conduct. Family member means the spouse, biological or adopted children, parents, siblings, and members of the household, of public officials and employees of government who depend on them for their livelihoods. Family under the code of conduct defined as people, even people who depend on you for livelihood. You're not supposed to favor them. That's the law. Were we the one that made the law? It's a very unique party that made the law. So why are they flouting the law? Relatives means with respect to a public official, any individual who is related to the public official as father, mother, son, daughter, brother, sister, husband, and wife. Right, basically son. But Kanye State comes back according to his century. I don't know what kind of century is that, right? And turn it around. At the end of the day, you just drive quietly and go to the Chief Justice and go sit down there, or go to the Chief Justice or oh papi, or defending you, that thing that, yeah, oh papi. So uno leg, but what thing you won't do, you go clear it because Chief Justice you'll be in the Chief Justice corner. Where else I can do that thing? I can sit down here, I ignore all the thing, I start firing for the Chief Justice. Start firing. Chief Justice get consent. And I fire, I send my clip then to the Chief Justice. Yeah, get consent. Oh, what can I your man? Yeah, your man. Then I get in the Chief Justice corner. But we are saying no, we don't want to get in the Chief Justice corner. Rather be in the Liberian corner than the Chief Justice corner. But Kanye said no, he ain't get time for y'all. Right? So here we are. He go in a late Chief Justice corner. He turn the law around, confuses the whole thing. But some of you will be under there clapping for it. And this is the sickening part about Liberia, right? You will stand for the right thing and stand with the people will despise you, they will call you name. Right? They will plot against you. They will justify they will justify the fact that you're being orchestrated, ostracized. They will justify that. They will even push the government to ostracize you further. But they will go, the people who are acting against them, they will go and start calling them hero. This is it. So what are the sanctions for nepotism? 9.8. Getting some feedback. Okay. So the penalties for nepotism include reprimand, suspension, demotion, or removal from employment, and could include prohibiting the offender from working for government for up to 5 years. This is what should be happening to Chief Justice Yamin Gbese. You see that big male, that very powerful male, but it takes a small boy like me, and depending on nothing, to come here and sit down and say the truth and read the law. That man can get vexed. That big powerful man can send people here, they will arrest me, they will put me in South Beach forever. I get no power to fight. The only power I got is the truth. It's to just say the truth. And that's all. I finished. I'm going to be vulnerable out there. We're talking about Chief Justice. So if as unprotected as we are committed to saying the truth for the betterment of Liberia, how much will it require those of you who are even benefiting from the country to just serve Liberia's best interest and the collective interest of all of us? So if the president does not remove the Chief Justice and ban him from working in government for 5 years, the Chief Justice should honorably resign by being found guilty of breaking the code of conduct. He himself said it. So look forward to see when the Chief Justice is going to resign. Sanction for infringement. Sanction for any breach of this code of conduct shall be those prescribed by the standing order of the civil service or any other laws governing the public service, notwithstanding, as in the judicial case, right? To go there, you say you must go to either Lutz Grant or the James AAPS. The people violated it. Procedures for reporting, blah, blah, blah. Folks, that's what it is. Let's hear from you, Liberians. This is your country. When the laws are being secondary under Boakai, and of course, nepotism, tribalism, sectionalism, and partisanship are key, justified by the highest offices in the land. Where can we find hope? And somebody think Liberia is being governed normally. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call. Should you still go to the court if you have issues in Liberia, if the courts are themselves violating the laws, and of course, incompetent and unqualified folks are being appointed? Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning. This is Benedict Zao, and I call you from Central Moravia.
Go ahead, Benedict.
Yeah, I want to appreciate this morning for the show. You see, my brother, we are heading for great danger. The most scary thing is that looking at where we come from, and this government, the way they run things is like they want to take us back to that terrible back. For the Chief Justice, the head of all the legal activity in this country, to be proceeding in a wrongful and illegal path, this is so scary, my brother. So that means the entire country, we the honorable, we are vulnerable to these people. But if you find the one who had the legal aspect of the country proceeding illegally, this means that this country, we are on a time bomb. I'm scared for the information that you're giving this morning. I'm greatly afraid.
Okay, we are on the time bomb. Thank you very much. Zao, there's 0776 104 104 086 500 104. You are even going to feel more terrified the moment we go to the Ministry of Mines and Energy conversation. You're going to feel more terrified for your country, knowing and understanding that you're sitting in Monrovia, hoping that the government is working in your interest. Some of what we're going to be revealing here this morning is going to terrify you further. But let's take more calls. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. This is Steve Moban Zakama. I come and speak out this morning.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I don't know where Liberia is heading currently. When I listen to the Chief Justice one time, justifying nepotism, they do a comparison with someone that has their family in government. I ask myself, where Liberia is heading? Where Liberia is heading, my brother? For the Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia to be justifying nepotism. I just imagine how 2029 will really be. Yes, that's my fear, that's my worry, that's my major worry. How 2029 will be.
We gotta keep praying for the best, but they I mean, everything looks scary. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for the acknowledgement. This is Edmund Carr, the digital repair, keep the tire president to the fire to deliver. Look, Liberia is serious trouble, and this is why we have said that the Nigerians should not allow themselves to be destroyed by a Waka too serious. Because Waka touched the executive, they are jackrabbing, Waka entered the legislature, you already saw it on different side. So you won't want to allow Waka to enter this era that at least should be serving as a hope for the Liberian people to destroy. That shouldn't happen. Look, that appointment, it was too fast. You just taking over. There are many things over there to correct or to put in place or you have any on your desk. Why are you so rushing? They sell it out. You tell them what they're is for protect, it's not in charge, it's question and act. The people say they don't want to respect the president. No, the president is a title. What we are defending here is the presidency.
Okay, thank you very much. We're defending the presidency, the integrity of our presidency. But let's listen to the Chief Justice.
Your capacity as a president, that the president has appointed normal lawyer as secondary magistrate and associate magistrate, and that was wrong, and that he wanted to intervene, advise the president. Next on Facebook, I saw the press release issue. But I say I appointed his son, who is not a lawyer, as a secondary magistrate. And the judge, so I got friends who what they were, everybody, what. I said, well, thank God. I'm going to where honor is. First and foremost, the law, the constitution of the country gave power to the president to appoint all presidential appointees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see.
They advise on anybody. But when it comes to the judiciary, you appoint the chief justice, associate justice, judges, magistrates, and associate magistrates. But when it comes to magistrates, the law says the secondary magistrate shall be a graduate of law school. So if the president appoints anybody who is not a graduate of law school, I, as a chief justice, will respectfully go to the limits of president. They want you error. They just require law school graduate. But when it comes to associate magistrate, there is nothing in the law. The law is absolutely silent. And you must know as lawyer that what the law does not give, it holds. Meaning that the president of the library has authority to appoint anybody as an associate magistrate. And the lady said to me, I don't see one person that the president appointed as secondary magistrate who is not a lawyer. And the 4 or 5 persons who were appointed as associate magistrate who are not a lawyer, that's when they put it, my son needs a second.
Okay. He says one thing and come back and say another thing. The crux of the matter here is there are several violations, Mr. Your Honor, Chief Justice. Nepotism. And to even say that the president can appoint anybody is leaving the field so vulnerable and open. And this is not how it works. There's a reason why the James AAPL was established. There's a reason why the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law is there. Right? So that people that will go through the James AAPS programs who are now lawyers by profession, but have gone through the rudimentary and fundamental trainings, who go and serve in these associate magisterial positions, understanding of what they are to do and what they are not to do. What does it say to the quality of the justice system if the Chief Justice sanctions and agrees and justifies that the president can take any Tom, Dick, Harry and put them anywhere? This is scary, right? I take 3 calls and then we move to something else. 0776 104 104 086 500 104. This is your country. This is the new standard. And of course, this is the rescue for you. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Thank you. This is Washington Soap. I call from Gainesville. I can clearly say that this country is really damaging. How can the Chief Justice, the man who preserve war, the court that has the final saying of our country, saying such a thing? That the president can appoint anybody, even a farmer, to be associate magistrate. What can I say is that? What legal knowledge that person has to work with? So, how can the Chief Justice present? I don't really know what people they came to damage the country or to move the country forward. Are you not discouraging people from even practicing law? You made an entire era of burning without the guy. Anybody can do anything. Yeah. What kind of thing is this? And then the man is involved with nepotism. People who should be speaking against crime committed in this country, they are involved with such. I don't know. I don't really know what system of government is this.
Okay, thank you very much. That is the Bwaka system of government. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu, and good morning to your listening audience.
Morning. You're the second to our last caller. Let's hear you, my brother.
Thank you. My name is Ismail Kamara, and I'm calling from being here this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, Abu, I don't understand the reason why professional people would choose to compromise their own integrity, for personal gain. It means I don't call for. Even though
so in essence, what they're saying, don't waste your time, go to school. Just make sure you're from a family, and then you have a connection. That's all you need.
I mean, for God's sake, this is very much appalling. You're talking about the KCAPS school of law. I recall during the Omei time, the Omei were able to train many of our brothers and sisters here. One of my uncle evenings, actually passed that particular rented file in Papudu, serving as magistrate. So, you cannot tell me for God's sake there's no standard in place. There is a standard in place. The name is not fool everybody here. I talked to someone just now, they were just telling me, oh, the man is a lawyer, he can't lie, he's saying the right thing. I told them, but then go back to your constitution. In the first place, he's being accused of nepotism. And that is correct. The law is there. He's telling us if there's any law. The law is there. But the thing is, Abu, it's good that you guys are flagging this issue so that people can understand what is happening under you in Mabaka. You know what the hair is writing? I don't know what you can get.
Finally, I'll take this last call and good morning.
Good morning, Abu, and coming to the listening audience.
Good morning, Masisi.
Thank you for the recommendation. To the public, this is Mark. No, my son Abu, I will push you ahead for disaster. No, you start in my podcast. Then the thing that they're saying, part of trash. Part of trash. I will say that 3 times, part of trash. The higher form of our land. I mean, they say to tear up. They get down, go set up. Do anything about law. We just send it anywhere. We got a president at point. So you got to justify it in our country as accepting the higher court of our land. I mean, we see. Look, our country is going to a disaster and we're feeding on the government. Everything has been broken down. Then the people see for the they brought for us in the country. We all will feed the face. See the same talking. I mean, we say, you and us. We believe in you when you justify that and so on, and then the law be the law so they can be back. But in the pocket and pressure you or your government. As for chief justice, you are going to tell the people that you can appoint anybody, you can understand, so not the water can go anywhere to go and send a la institution. My brother, my son, we are going for disaster. And the people are listening and saying, yes. And they put check to the people. They put us destroy our country on a podcast. And they see they're going forward. But let God be the glory. We are here watching, my son. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and so journalist Nyanti just posted that, and that does it for the call section on this segment. So that Daniel Sandu, the Wood Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Information, said, wrote under, I'm reading the Adi Jawado post on that Lofa mansion that Bwaka is wrote cluelessly that, and I quote, my understanding is that the project is an MRU funded initiative. To even begin by saying my understanding, that means he does not have the facts. And to be at that level, and you don't have a fact on a major project in the country, and you're supposed to be an informer for the government, but a major project in the country is going on, and you're sounding unaware of any detail surrounding. I will come to the misconception and the deliberate lies with it. So my understanding is that the project is an MRU funded initiative. It's been hosted in Foya, Lofa County, due to the geographical suitability for the area. In short, they choose Foya because of its connection to Guinea and Sierra Leone. Now, an MRU construction is going on in Liberia. That's according to this rule kit, Daniel, right? Which is a lie, deliberate lie. And this is the lies that they're passing around. They can say it officially, but they're passing around in their corners because they know it will be responded to. MRU, go on MRU website from last year, September to now, or even before. If you see anyone release to the effect of constructing any base, right, on behalf of the MRU, anywhere, whether in Gekedu, in Foya, or in Kwendu, that a decision got reached. And if such a thing happened, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be the lead. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs will be the lead, right? And Liberia representative to the MRU will be involved. Contact any of these offices. If you see one paper, don't call me Abu. The government think they can come here and be lying about everything and just thinking, right? Our MRU, a whole MRU can't do secret part. Then MRU constructing. But our EPS people mining the place. That MRU construction going on. That EPS people can escort the containers that take the material from Monrovia from the port to Foya. But that MRU project. I challenge the president office to say it is a lie. Right? Because I know several EPS officers that have accompanied materials overnight to that place. And you can sit down here, you even know what's going on. You say, oh, my understanding. It's not say the facts. It's also say documents available. Or the facts is the fact is that in fact it's be challenging Eddie Jawolo. Because you don't have a capacity to challenge me. So you challenge all of you that are friends. So I mean friends as in United Party friend. So you can challenge your UP man, your UP alliance man, right? The point at which people like Eddie will be coming out, and you know how long this has been? We've been singing song dating for over a year. That today they believe it, that they're saying something small should tell you that, you know, it is. So you shouldn't even entangle MRU in this thing. You shouldn't even entangle MRU. MRU don't do thing in secret. It's open. So when MRU doing project, not even police, not even MRU supposed to, in fact, that's supposed to be a benefit for private security firms. Because the MRU money now. They'll hire private security firm and be paying them, the people will be working there. But no, the president say, oh, MRU, you're leave it, right? In fact, the people that are constitutionally supposed to be providing protection for me and my properties, right? That the people I was sent to go man MRU construction. That thing looking like it makes sense. But anyway, let's take a walk with Crime Stopper and we will be right back. Very short break. Very, very short break with Crime Stopper.
For us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must target, I mean you cheche. You wait for your safety. If you see a don't keep it. I'm a part of the boy. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper.
Okay, let's bring that one down. Crime Stopper Liberia, folks. Welcome back to the final lap of the conversation, and this is trending. This is believed to be coming from the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism, and the thing is in lieu to what happened at the airport to the rousing welcome that former President Weah enjoys. It seems the government want to replicate something on behalf of President Boakai. You see, they're giving attention to to things that really don't matter. So, His Excellency President Boaka arrival notice. His Excellency President Joseph Newman Boaka Sr. will be arriving for conclusion of his official visit to the United Nations, to the United States of America. Sorry. While in the United States of America, President Boakai actively participated. Active there you go. Actively participated. Call your speech or your banner speech. When you owe the Liberian people banner inaugural speech, then you owe the UN Women banner speech, banner 5 pages. Next year we expect that you go complete it. Okay, so it wasn't satisfactory at all. Where he held bilateral and multilateral meetings to mobilize support for Liberia's development agenda, and later launched the Liberia Diaspora Conference aimed at rallying Liberians abroad to remain engaged in national development programs. Millions have been spent on those two endeavors, but trust me, nothing is going to come back. Upon arrival, President Boaka will attend an intercessory service in his honor at the Life Center Church, Benson Avenue, Lower Magibi County, along the Monrovia-Robertsfield Highway, where well-wishers and officials of government are encouraged to attend. So the government have the government is organizing a big party at a local church there on the highway to welcome Boaka. But what is there to welcome him about? Right? This is our service. This is mediocre. This is childish. But this is supposed to be coming from the self-proclaimed responsible, and not listen to the chairman of the Unity Party, Luther Tappe, yesterday in District 12. District 12, I'm told. Speaking about, the Mencho people in power. I said, can you imagine? The first time in the history of this country for a national political party chairman to rally young people to stage protests at the president's residence. That what time it happened? And under who? Luther Tappe. And that man stands before people to call himself Mencho. Is that maturity? Is that how responsible and mature and professional people behave? Mature and responsible. The time you never had a job, you tell the other poor children, you go stand to the president hall and disturb. The first disgrace that happened to Boakai was organized by Luther Tappe. And this is the scene you see here. So this responsible government say, all of your mokan, the president coming tomorrow, your mokan to the chair here, they can do praise and worship. Praise and worship for what? For taking over 50 people to UNGA. For taking over 40 people to Diaspora Conference. They don't on the trip, but they did not enter the UNGA. I don't know why, but they did not enter. Right? So this is it. The government say after bringing your market, you must go to the chair, you go tell boy, how many more times you gotta call prayer service? But this is just a mark of laziness. And basically what they're trying to do is to how you keep measuring yourself with former president. We are all the time. Anything President we are do, you won't replicate that one. And you're a copycat. A copycat, complete copycat government. This is why the CDC people can say you project rule, you steal the people project. Anything CDC do, that's what you want to do. Anything we are does, that's what you want to do. You're so obsessed with the man to the point you're pointing the man hard now, right? You won't kill the man. Direct attack. You're attacking the man direct. So how bend the man whatever to your house that name? You go to petrol born in the man. You go to petrol born in the man, attacking the man family, attacking the man political institution. Right? Still, people still love the man. The man coming, people all will line up. Then you say you won't pay back. But let's go back to some of the reasons why people will not. Daniel Sano is a punk. Nobody should take Daniel Sano serious. He's a punk. He's being used. He's a stooge. He understands nothing. He provides terrible accounts for what he's supposed to know. He ought to know in keeping with his position, but he looks blank on critical issues happening in the country, and that's how he speaks so very, limited on critical issues. How can you be the deputy minister? The official spokesman for the government, and then you. My understanding is that. So I hear say that, but you at that level can't say my understanding is that, right? Fellow Liberians, I have two very important communications to read for you this morning. And please lend me your ears. Some of those issues. And today we are going to the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Remember, some days ago or weeks ago, we brought you a communication from the from mining agents across the country accusing senior miners or senior mines and energy officials of corruption, and they call on the president to intervene. They wrote this communication September 14, 2025, informing the president about something that was happening in the sector that clearly undermining of our collective desire for an equitable and transparent mining sector. And the president has since not said anything. So they've done a follow-up communication to the president's office. But let me reread the previous communication because I read it here before, and then I'll come to the latest. Monrovia, Liberia, September 14, 2025. If a group of concerned mining agents within the Ministry of Mines and Energy has written President Joseph Newman Boakai raising alarm. Okay, so let me just go to the communication. It's very lengthy, but it's important that we read it for. So, dear President Boakai, subject urgent concerns regarding corruption within the Ministry of Mines and Energy. I told you earlier, I said, please call the attention of Women Pay, Carlos Timber, Addison, the Director of Mine, and who else again, and several of them. Just call the entire ministry's attention because it's important. And I challenge them to deny any of these. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to post it because the video, I'll keep the videos, right? Because it's a long series. Before I finish all those reads, probably time will be up with time. I hope this letter finds you in good health and high spirit as concerned mining agents of the Ministry of Mines and Energy. We feel compelled to bring to your attention a serious and distressing situation that undermines the integrity of our department and places a profound burden on the people of Liberia. It has come to our knowledge through the diligent work and testimonies of committed agents that serious ethical violations and corrupt practices have emerged within the upper echelon of the Ministry of Mines. Specifically, there is compelling evidence that the Director of Mines, Aloysius Carr, the Assistant Minister of Mines, Carlos Timber Edison, and the Deputy Minister for Operation, William H. Haynes, have engaged in assigning volunteers in the field to unlawfully collect funds on their behalf. So these funds are collected purposely for those individuals circumventing the government fines, the government tariffs, and all of that, because these are illegal miners that they put in the bush, right? And mine our resources, and then they send these volunteers, ignoring the actual agents who know what they're supposed to be doing. But these volunteers go in there primarily just to collect kickbacks and come to Monrovia and give it to these senior officials at the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Mr. President, when Minister Wilmot J.P. took over as minister, he said that no volunteers should be given an assignment letter, but his ministers have refused to listen. And those are the ministers entrapped in it. So the minister says the assistant minister keeps giving keeps giving assignment letters to quote unquote his own or their own agent because it's a syndicate. In June of this year, on a Saturday morning, Director Carr received the amount of 15,000 US dollars from a Chinese man called William, who is carrying out illegal mining activities in Bentor City, Montserrado County, blah, 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 adjacent, blah, 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 blah. And then you come down further. In July of this same year, Director Carr again received the amount of 15,000, together 30,000 from the Chinese guys who are working illegally in Vic Mining District, Grand Cayman County, blah, blah, blah. And that is that. So, okay, so we come down further. We come down further to Grand Cayman County. This amount was given to mining agent Scott to Randy Scott, who is the general manager. The director is in the habit of what? Collecting monies from us for assigning or assignments since he took office. And we have been asked to submit reports. But guess what? The report they're talking about that money, to submit money. So therefore report. So the director of mine tells the agents to submit reports, tell them to bring certain money every other weekend, right? To him and Assistant Minister Carlos. The director and Assistant Director Benti Toje are in the habits of collecting monies from us before they can validate the miners' licenses in the system. Concerning Minister Carlos Timber Addison, the young man who was forced on the ministry by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sarah Basilio, has turned the Department of Mines into tax collection center. Carlos of all people, right? Collecting tax. So the board collect, create a small susu club in the place. Just sending people collecting anything you gotta pay. Report to him on a daily basis on one of his brothers, Robert Wape, who is not an employee of the Ministry of Mines and Energy, is currently in Sino County raising money for him. So we have a lot of videos from Sino, Grand Jida, and other places of these illegal mining areas where the agents have gone. We have a recording where you listen to the Chinese guy, and the black manager, quote unquote, arguing with the actual agent who are going to implement, telling the agent that we have your people here, we get a name. Every month we send money to them. Carlos Timber Addison and the cohorts. So what has Minister Pay done about these things? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why do you think Minister Pay is careless about doing anything? So that is a snippet of the first communication that was done, right? Let's go to this is September. Okay, let's come to the next one. This is a subject follow-up from our communication addressed to you on August 8, 2025, concerning the corruption that is ongoing at the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Dear President Boakai, in any serious case, here's your role. I believe as the president enters tomorrow, the president should, first of all, initiate and call these ministers. But trust me, there is no way that they can exonerate themselves. Mr. President, if you want me to help, I can help you. We can submit some of the videos we have, right? And let them go before you and deny these claims. There are people willing to testify. Mr. President. They just need to see the president response to these communications, and you see more testimonies coming out. These young boys have betrayed and compromised, the generation. Dear Mr. President, we hope this letter finds you in good health and high spirit. We're writing to you today as a follow-up to our previous communication sent to your office on August 8th regarding the serious allegations of corruption within the Ministry of Mines and Energy, specifically involving Deputy Minister for Operation William S. Haynes, Assistant Minister for Mines Carlos Tingbe Addison, and Director of Mines Awel A. Carr. As you are well aware, corruption undermines the very foundation of governance and public trust, particularly within the sector responsible for the management of Liberia's rich natural resources. Our earlier correspondence highlighted specific instances where unethical practices may be disadvantaging both the state and its citizens. It is imperative that we as a nation take a firm stance against such malpractices to promote, preserve. Okay, let me take a water quickly. Natural resources on Banjo in Liberia, right? I just want to read the communications for you, right? So the mines and energy sector plays a vital role in Liberia's economy and have the potential to lead the country towards blah 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 blah. Mr. President, your commitment to fighting corruption, as stated in your administration's platform, is commendable. However, there is an urgent need for decisive action to address these allegations. It is critical that your office conduct a thorough investigation into the actions of Deputy Minister Haynes, Assistant Minister Edison, and Minister Carr and Director Carr. Transparency in handling these matters will send a powerful message that corruption will not be tolerated and will reinforce the public's trust in your leadership. Mr. President, we are not doing this to go against anyone, but to help you build a good legacy. Under the former President George Weah's administration, we did similar communication, informing him about the massive corruption that was carried out by former director, blah, 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 blah. So these people are out. In that communication to former President George Weah, we also mentioned that the former Assistant Minister for Mines, Emmanuel Titi Swain, was also collecting blah, 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 blah. So let's calm down. So this is it. Okay. So, Mr. President, we are saying this for the record that Mr. Pei does not understand the working of the Ministry of Mines and Energy. So this is it. William Pei that the president appointed is getting clearly established that William Pei does not understand what he's doing down there. William Pei is just sitting down there and the people are corrupting our natural. That place is a critical sector. That is what the children we are born in today are even supposed to hope on. Right? So you have a man there who is zero, who has no understanding, and the young people there just are using him and stealing money and probably sharing kickbacks and all that. By the time I saw Women Pay collecting generator and fueling the ministry, empowering the ministry, I knew that place was being compromised. Machine that they have, generator that they have there, was provided by a Chinese miner in this town. Mr. President, the Ministry of Mines is corrupt. Carlos Tingbe Addison is in the center, Hence, it's in the center. Car is in the center. What are you going to do about this? This is not the first time, and neither is it going to be. So, fellow Liberians, I want you to see the magnitude. I want you all to see the magnitude of what is happening to our country, right? I want you, you see, this is the heavy duty equipments that these Chinese have in the forest, and they're depleting our natural resources, and they're not paying any tax to the government. They have no license to operate. In the first place, what happens is that these people are assigned concessional areas. You know, concessional areas, most of them, it has been proven, they do not have the capacity to conduct routine, monitoring and supervision on all of their concessional areas. So elements from the Ministry of Mines now will enter into clandestine arrangement with illegal Chinese miners. When they come in this country, right, they will assign them places under the arrangement that when you get caught, when they are caught, then the ministry will remove you from there. And all I say, they didn't know about it, but they know about it. And thousands of United States dollars are received monthly, and they go directly into the pockets of these individuals' names we just call. But I know this is a country where you say these things and other people say that they don't take them seriously. They don't do anything. If you do this thing in other country, right, complete noise will come, right? This is it. One young man having how many keke riding in the country, right? That Class C miners are supposed to do these kind of things in concessional area, but you take a Class B operation there, undermining the country and depleting, and without paying any cents or dollars. And this thing is happening normal. Everybody is there, all of them, right, folks? Let me show you this. Let me show you this. You see the machines? You see the Chinese guy there? There's a Chinese man standing right here. Okay. And you see this Chinese man? You see the machine? This is way in the forest. Right? These are the people, Carlos and others at the Ministry of Mines sent in our forest, and they are mining our resources without any accountability. And all we've heard is that, and let me show you the interesting one. When these illegal Chinese miners go in the bush, they liaise with the police inspector general, and they get assigned arm-toting ERU officers. You see, for those of you watching on our YouTube channel, you see right here, you see this guy. This is a police officer, right? He is part of the team assigned here to provide protection for this man, Mr. President. So it's a whole syndicate, right? These are the people permitting them. These Chinese people come in, right? When the holiday is coming, they give out rest, they give out money to these people, right? I'm going to show you all the pictures. It's so sad that the Facebook is not on for a lot of you to see. You see? And I'll tell you where these pictures are coming from, the county these pictures are coming from. So when I start playing a video for you to, you can't have excavators mining. This is not what Class C mining operation is supposed to have. You see the machine way in the bush. While we're sitting here, people are hungry, right? Lawmakers have not taken pay. Few guys at the Ministry of Mines. And this is illicit arrangement. The Chinese are taking millions from the country and giving the border 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, in some cases 50,000, and the men are okay. The men are selling the whole country. They sit down, and these boys open shop for a woman, buy keke, his brother that working the Ministry of Health, living in Banavie, that one, controlling that one, multiple kekes in the street, right? Running. And this is where we are. So the machines and equipment unregulated, illegal mining site is in the Bua mining district, where it is alleged that Carlos Timber Allison, William S. Hines, and Awel Carr are receiving $10,000 US every month to allow a Chinese man called Gao Fang, aka Barry, to work illegally. These are the people who are supposed to be regulating the mining industry, but then they enter into illegal arrangement with Chinese miners, sending in places in the forest, and they themselves don't even know the quantum of minerals that these people are taking all of the country. They don't even know. What kind of Chinese man will go buy the heavy machine and carry in the bush? Do you know how much for each of the machine? And you are so wicked to your country as a young man. You sit down there, you think 15,000 or 10,000 every month is okay. And these people are taking millions from the country, fellow Liberians. Right? What is the president going to do is a major question. Agents, legitimate agents working that the government paying to be inspecting and enforcing and reporting on these things. When they report it, why? It go to these individuals, the Department of Mines. In the Department of Mines, the Deputy Minister of Operation is in the web. The Director of Mine is in the web. The Assistant Minister for Mine is in the web. So where? Even the Minister proper is in the web. Where are we heading? Folks. And somebody said the country is running normal. For as long as George Weah is no longer president and Bwaka is the president, the country is running normal. The country is running normal in their mind. Right? The country is running normal. This is it. There's a short clip. Illegal, unregulated, and our natural resources, the thing that belongs to everybody, few men, just sit down and abuse their power in their office, collecting 10,000, 15,000. Mr. President, do you sanction that? I don't want to call the minister's name because there are a lot of stuff we are getting. I think the Minister of Mines is compromised. So the president has to intervene. The president has to get directly involved. But it gets difficult because you know what? The entire thing is so terrible. Because there are people blocking the president from even seeing the realities. And that is the reason why we have to make more noise about this. But tomorrow when our live stream comes on, we will display and play you the video and you will listen to the confession from the Chinese people, calling names and accusing and even stating figures. The Ghanaian people that are there in Grenji there, mining on the river, right? The black sand miners. All of them are paying not to the government of Liberia, they're paying to Carlos. Are you interested in investigating these folks? Right? Let them go and exonerate themselves. But for as long as we keep these people in the position, the more the people continue to deplete and take our resources. leave this country going into. And a lot of you that are outside of the country, whatever Railroad says, Railroad G, Grand G there, Sino, Bapolu, and just all over. You get all kind of illegal Chinese mining site. You just see them go way in the bush, go put big headable machine in there, and the jail. Without any regulation. If it is happening without the knowledge of the ministry, then that's one thing. But to know that it's happening with elements from the ministry, aiding and abetting and allowing this thing with evidence and record coming of them receiving kickbacks, and nobody is taking any action, let's see what happens. From now to Friday, we're on this case. Oh yeah, and I heard that they went ahead trying to intimidate some journalists and reporters and all kinds of things. Let them go try it, because I just take my whole phone I carry, or I bring my computer and just open everything, so be saying it right there and let them say, but tomorrow it's going to be a good thing. Unfortunately, the screen did not come on. Tomorrow we'll put all up here. We'll put Carlos and all the agents, the people they have collecting for them, right? We'll get their names and we'll call their names. The relationship will call it. And where they have assigned them will call it. Those volunteers. So like I can say, my witness across the reward. And let them go to the president and deny all these people. Should Carlos and the other guys still be sitting now? Since last month, we talked about this thing. And they stay there. Thank God the president is coming tomorrow. So we're going to welcome the president with a conversation tomorrow. And please, let's share this conversation, because it's about the future. It's about the natural resources of the country that all of us should benefit from. And for few people to think because the president has appointed them and they can sit down in the corner and keep collecting their 15 and 20,000, they're not sharing that 15 and 20,000 with us. So if we all sit down, this is not even the politics. This should not be about politics. Irrespective of your political persuasion, everybody should unite against robbing the country natural endowment for the selfish benefit of a few. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 886 500 104 are the numbers to call. Time is fast spent, and then we can be out of here. Okay, 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 886 500 104 are the numbers to call. So, concerned mining agents have raised the issues. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Chester, and I'm sorry for something.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me say thanks for the show. It is not a surprise for some of us who know Carlos and that of the professor. You see, there's the reason this man he has no vote. In fact, the central committee of SUP and removing from the chairmanship because of him doing best day beyond the central committee, who is the biggest division of the Vanguard Party.
So he has a history with this from the level of SUP.
Yeah, the man have a corrupt history. People know that. The more phone is that story and want to do business and want to have discussion beyond the central committee.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Again, I'm paying this out. Abu, I always saying that he was on the arrival of the president in order to amplify this conversation.
No, not waiting on a arrival, but it's going to coincide with his arrival because our screen was giving a problem and we want to play this video so like when people themselves will hear it, and so it coincides with the president arrival. He's going to be here tomorrow.
Okay. I got that clear. Because if you're going to be tired, I'm going to say it'll be a waste of time. Because in a struggling economic situation, if you have a president who will drive in $1.2 million vehicle, then you think he has any intention of alleviating the people of poverty? They got their own bunch of cartels of criminal.
No, I agree. We can talk the president on, but to imagine a young man like Carlos and their likes to be there and then compromising our natural resources for their personal benefit. This is absolutely sickening.
Yeah, and these are the guys who are talking about pre-buy our money. So they pre-buy our money theory. It was in their mind was to come and take our money and put it in their pockets and certify their family. This is why they all a lot that we are beneficiaries of the rest. They all
so now we gotta bring back our minerals.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, bring back our mineral because you mortgaging our mineral to the Chinese people and they're stealing the black sand and they're taking all kinds of minerals because it's unregulated.
Yeah.
Gotta keep emphasizing. We'll write their names on the pictures and everything. We share it so you know them.
I'm joining you for the most abandoned district in Mazara County, district number 8. And our brother from the student unification party need to be wise. Because yesterday they were used by this very unity party government, and today we are seeing unity party is trying to abandon the student unification party, and today we are seeing that the unity party government has put on lives and wounded too many students at the state university. So we are calling on the students to be very wise because this time around it's not about them. People are doing it because of themselves. Yesterday they told them to organize, bring back our money. They told them to organize too many SACA, 15 billion, 28 million more. And also now we haven't seen no investigation.
And Carlos Timber Edison was the chairman of the party then. Chairman of the student unification party. We saw the videos are there. Good morning. I'm sorry. *255*1#. Let's take more calls. Okay, more people calling. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine. Let's hear you, my friend.
Yeah, my name is James Padden, and I'm the chairman of the Veteran Assembly in District 16, Nikotown. You know, when you're speaking, I don't want you to measure, we're waiting on the president arrival. All right? What is the president going to do?
No, but he's the president, and he has to take.
In order to grant people and the entire government officials. It's a pastoral box. It's open for everybody to eat their own.
But he's the president. I'm sorry, he's the president. He has to take action.
We know that he's the president of this country, but for the beginning to show you, just go there and do download that the president is constructing on Roswell, palace in Lofa that over $10 million United States dollars. So what do you expect the other people to do?
So is that a justification for why the young people giving Chinese people right to illegally take our mineral?
Yeah, if you eat your own, the president eat your own, the other people have to eat their own. Yeah.
I mean, that is not approved. Anyway, good morning. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Apple.
Morning.
Yeah, okay. I just want to give a small on our Carlos guy. Yeah, that Carlos guy, that man is very corrupt. Yeah, he's very corrupt. He did training from the Pakistan before they were appointed at that ministry of Defense and Mine. Yeah, when he was serving as Secretary General for Best Yami Party. Okay. Yeah, so as the attitude, they know when something part of you, it gets part of you.
So you mean the corruption we're talking now, it not screams to you?
I say, now, I know him personally, I work with him personally.
But anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Folks, we are in trouble. We are in serious mess.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning. Soup veteran, former chairman Carlos Timber Allison in the web of mining corruption. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Okay, I was speaking from Buiba Island.
Go ahead.
So this thing, we cannot see this thing in the West African region. I can remember this one morning I stayed in Kaduna State. I even see white men. I only saw white men in the central market in Nigeria.
Okay, but go all in the forest here, bro. You see the Chinese men with their BB machines. All they can do one more end, they just bring 10,000, 15,000 to your government officials at the Ministry of Mines, and that's it. This one here, a little a test. Hussein, let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Good morning to you, and good morning to those who follow me show. And let me say good morning to the father of morning grammar, His Excellency Joseph Human Parker.
Okay, thank you very much. We're talking serious thing here. You can bring Morning Grammar Bennett. Morning Grammar Bennett we're talking about. 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 23. Liberian poor are suffering. And you have officials in the government stealing and indulging into bribery and compromising our natural minerals, our mineral resources for their personal benefits and aggrandizement. The personal details as to what they're involved with and what they're getting and what they're doing, right? Trust me, we have all. We have them. I mean, if you sit and realize that this country you expect to realize your fullest potential has been captured by Chinese, illegal Chinese miners, Ghanaians miners, and Burkinabes. And that these people are facilitated by elements within the government. And then you say that, so all you're going to keep doing, that is the reason why they're always going to keep creating tension and you'll be fighting, doing party thing while the buggers are collecting the millions of dollars. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu.
Morning.
I was on the line when I went off.
Okay.
Yeah, this is James Body from Nicosia. As I said, you know, this comment started with the corruption, illicit money, including, you know, about over 15 million, you know, was destroyed in removing the figure. That is the first form of government. The achievement went out and, you know, dish out 73,000 United States dollars for the 73 districts around the country. The first one when he made figure for the inaugural program. These are the things that started with the government. Everybody plans to corrupt the system. Okay, the taxpayer money. So what do you expect? The country is in a serious state of dilemma. This government is not going to do anything good for the Liberian people. This is how they started with the fifth year, and this is how they're going to end with the fifth year. Nothing we want to realize. They are not
so when we identify corrupt people, we call for their removal in government until we can get the good ones.
Who will remove who? Central cannot fight against itself. Central cannot fight against itself. Who will remove who? Everybody not eating. So we have to live with it for the 6 years. Nothing you can do about it, Abu. We just continue to talk about it, but nothing is going to be done about it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've made your point. And I don't know how many of us are going to settle for that we should just keep quiet and leave it for 6 years. That is unacceptable. No, I believe I want to. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Shana. How are you?
This is who?
This is John Safa Boyma.
Boyma, go ahead.
Okay. I'm calling on Prophet.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask, because for one fact, the first priority of money is given to the Liberians. And I'm hearing the Chinese are all in the bush. Because I'm one of the beneficiaries of that. That is what I'm saying. And when I went out of the ministry, they gave me the first opportunity as a Liberian to own the mining sectors. But you're saying that people put it aside. The Chinese, if the Chinese want to invest in this country and they bring the tax to the Liberian government, you have again to give the opportunity. Yes. So I don't see it necessary if they corrupt, do your pipeline investigation and see whether they are carrying the corruption Chinese. Then the Chinese come out and say yes, indeed they are corrupting us.
So listen, I don't know what you're even trying to say, but anyway, let me just help.
Okay, go ahead.
Concerned agents, I read their communication. You know who are the agents? Money agents?
Call their names.
You know who are they?
Call their names. That's what I mean.
Oh man, get off on my phone there. So, folks, that's what it is, right? No matter what you do in the country, there'll be some people with screwed heads. So you can, there ain't no money agent and call their names. And call money agent and hello, good morning. You know how many are there?
Good morning. Good morning, Abu. How are you?
I'm fine. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Jefferson Cloud. The silent listeners for decided to just take part on the program today.
Thank you, Jefferson.
Yes. The thing is, when the air is corrupt, it means that the tail will not be corrupt. The person we're taking to be the person is saying doing corrupt attitude. But when you talk over the followers that anybody that sees you invest in the country. So So you're not paying, you're not corruption, so you're not speaking to us. Because the president said corrupt. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna hold it there. And folks, this is serious. You understand? We all can have our views and all that. People who are working in the sector, working in the ministry, people who government pay as money agents, say the agent on behalf of the Ministry of Mines, government send them all across the mining district to go do inspection. Then you come here, you say, I'm gonna call their names. Who are you? The people say, Mr. President, corruption in here. They put name the people. They're not me. They put name the people in their letter. I read the letter. Then you come here and say, what happened to some of you sometime though? When you put your country first and forget about all these small defending for crumbs, how much they can give you so much? You can't hear you lie. You sounding like somebody that doing money business. You hungry like that. You not even eat this morning. You can't open your mouth. You look like somebody that doing mining business. Then you doing mining business. You know who are agents. They not give you scratch card to corner. You even know what to say. You can't talk. Trash. Oh, gotta go, man, folks. Thanks for always joining and being a part of the conversation. This is the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9. Too many critical, interesting, and important conversations this morning. Of course, we are going to continue from where we stopped. We're going to keep looking into this until the president takes action to redeem the Department of Mines at the Mines and Energy. The corruption claims are so overwhelming. And of course, the evidence are, mind-boggling. When you see them, the revelations are so terrifying. So how can the National Police assign police officers at illegal mining sites at concessional areas? This is terrible. So this exposure is even going to draw the attention of some of these mining concessional companies. Now look, in your backyard, they get elements there in the ministry that already giving me Chinese people the right to go be mining your thing and what you already signed concession for. What does it render us? Irresponsible. And of course, that is terrible for Liberia. You're stealing the country money. And then they're underpaying you 15,000. The mail take hundreds of thousands and millions from the country. Then more and they give you 15,000. Then you can't say that you buy a few keke, you pull it, you open saloon for your wife. The thing everybody's supposed to benefit from. Then you give it out on banjo. The Burger government giving you natural resources on banjo for mineral, banjo for mining lesson.
They welcome me, they say they welcome you freedom fighter, you raping our women. They are freedom fighter. Freedom fighter, you killing our children. They are freedom fighter. Freedom fighter, you